it was my dog's ducky that she really wanted me to throw. It doesn't look like a duck anymore. I'll tell you that. Okay. All right, let's get this shit figured out, huh? Fixed my data tables. Well, sort of. Not in a very satisfying way, but is what it is. Item tag is none. To get item data by tag, what are we returning? Item name is none. First, welcome in, Christian. Good morning. Yeah, so did we get there? Yeah, so we get tag leaf name. Tag name none. Tag name none. None. Bunch of fucking nuns in here. Alright, let me figure this the fuck out. Can I put a breakpoint here? Would you allow me to do that, Blueprints? Would you let me do that? Okay, the tags are tagging. They have names. The tags have been tagged. Tag name none. Why can't I put breakpoints? Please let me use breakpoints, Unreal Engine, please. You're my only hope. You're my only hope. Okay, let me put a print statement then. Print. Let's do this. We're gonna append these nuts on your chin. How about that? Tag. Display the tag. Comma. Name. Play the name. Yeah, and that's it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let me see the logs. Show me the logs. None. Why is it none? I just saw that it twas not none. It twere not none. It tweren't. Trying to get tweren't up in here. Build children. Can I breakpoint here? On, you know what? This might be... That might not be the way to do it. Maybe that's why. Build children. Can I please just get proper breakpoints? That would be nice. Yay, I can get it here. Okay. Well, I do have them here. Okay, so then why... We breakpoint there. Constructy. Tweren't. Nice, thank you. Thank you. That's just the kind of randomness you get when you get a shitty sleep. Why is it none here though? Why is it now none? The input has tag names. I see them. Why? What happened here? What happened here? Why? I guess we'll maybe get to the okay, I don't get to the constructor though of the thing. Let me think here. Tags, what could fucking happen in here? Oh, now it's a thing. Now it's a thing. Although, okay, we just have to log this at every step of the way, I guess. If that's how Unreal Engine's gonna be this morning. If that's just how we're gonna be. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Construct thing with tag. Okay. Okay. Nice. Construct thing with tag. Okay, so all the fucking tags are there. But on construction, it is not populated properly. I don't even understand. I don't even understand how that could be the case. I don't understand. I don't understand. So they go in, they get constructed with a tag name, but when they actually get to the constructor, it ain't set. This Unreal Engine, it is. Good eye. Oh, I need to turn on my mouse tracking thingy. There you go. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, now we can look around a little bit better. Yeah, what's the freaking deal here, man? What's the deal? Okay, let's do something stupid that we shouldn't have to do. Functions, set label. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I slept poorly and I am sleepy. I'm a bit sleepy. So I forgot. Text. Okay, so what we're gonna do. I guess it should be like name or something. But whatever. I should remove the black circle next to the HP bar. You're right. That didn't used to be there. That showed up after I updated. Probably to like 5.3 or 5.4. I'm on like 5.6 now, so I don't know. It's not a big deal and I got other things to work on, so. Yeah. You are correct though. You are correct. Change this to a name, I guess. Okay, let's set label. Okay, we're also going to do this. I shouldn't have to. Cancel. I shouldn't have to do this. Yet here we are. Yet here we are. Get tag name. Yeah, that. It's ugly. A bit uggo, but we're gonna see if it works. Set label. We're also going to log it from in here. Tag label. Okay. Can you give me the proper value now? I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Hello. Okay, nice. Nice. It's still none. Yes. Okay. How many fucking construct thing? So it does set when I do set label, it does set it. Bless you, thank you. You know, Lilith, I'm starting to think things that they said about you weren't true. Bless you, thank you, Jacques. Welcome in. What is these? What are you working on? I'm asking because I have no idea. We're looking at Unreal Engine right now. I'm working on a video game. It's going to be an RPG, Colony Sim Roguelite. And I guess welcome in, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I didn't sleep well last night, so a little low energy. But let me show you guys the... I am. My goodness. Let me show you guys the game. Here's my procedural terrain algorithm. Look at it. It's my baby, okay? So I'm working on an RPG, Colony Sim Roguelite in Unreal Engine. It has procedural terrain, destructible terrain, and I'll have AI generated quests, and I hope it'll be really fun. So this is overall what I am working on. I spawned into a very craggy, rocky zone here with sharp mountains. Here is the world map, also procedurally generated. So I got spawned into Gold Crest Hills. So all these zone names will be like different, excuse me, sir. There's a colonist that I can recruit. But all these will be different, like terrain noises, different biomes, different zone names. We got Jade Mountains, we got Direstone Quarry, Starfall Ridge, the Wizard Sanctum of Mysteria. And these are all like AI generated names that I just like threw a bunch into a database and I just pick random ones. And what's the tool? Unreal Engine. This is Unreal Engine. And so what I'm working on is let me see if I can display it here. So I'm gonna recruit a colonist, and I'm gonna build this little area here. So I made this little voxel tool here that like generates some voxels on the fly. And I'm gonna go recruit this guy. This is Sable Swift. Join my colony. Now I'm gonna tell him to forage within that area I just created. So he's gonna go pick all those mushrooms. So this is a colonist task that he's performing. Boom. Oh dear. What? Oh no, I messed up my data tables. What have I done? Okay. Well, there goes that demo. There goes that demo. How badly did I mess up my data tables here? All right. So I need to, if there is no row, we're just going to return null pointer. Let me log something here for an error. Create new item. Did not find row. Did not find row. But yeah, I just messed up all my data tables, so... yeah. I thought I fixed them, but I guess I didn't wire some up correctly. Well, I'll have to take a peek at those. I thought I had all the data correct. We'll take a look, though. Take a little look-see. But yeah, he was supposed to pick up the mushrooms, and what I was going to show was that that area that I built can also be used for other things, and that's what I'm working on, is making that area usable for storing things. And so it'll be like colony storage, right? Like after he picks up the mushrooms, now what? What does he do with them? He needs to take them somewhere, right? Into some container or some storage area. So I'm working on that. And it turns out I need like an item hierarchy so that the player can specify like what items can go in what storage areas and what items colonists should keep on them. You know, maybe you want them to have some potions. Maybe you want them to have some food. How do you specify that? Well, I'm trying to create this little hierarchy here with gameplay tags. And that's what I was doing at the beginning of the stream there. Let's try a new seed. We'll try a new world map here. 438. 1738. Okay, here's another one. We'll see how interesting this one is. Not bad. Not a bad seed. So I only have a couple different biomes right now and a few different terrain noises. We got a bunch of underground caves and stuff though. My God, this one is a little complicated. This is a complicated cave. Nothing exciting down here yet, just a bunch of random shit that spawned. But eventually I'll spawn some ore and some monsters down here, you know. I want to do some procedural dungeons. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, my procedural chops, you know, if I have to toot my own horn, I would say they're getting pretty good, right? After almost 3 years of working on this. Well, you'll see how there's like different zones here, separated by mountains. So that was a distinct choice. Hello, hello, the ever wanted. Welcome in. Good morning. Dusty cake. That's Drongy. Listen, can I tell you something? Oops, sorry, Caps. Yeah. Can you explain some more? What do you want me to explain more about? Yes, I can explain more. Are the characters you recruit paid with any in-game items, and can they rebel? Yeah, I mean, there's you know, the world is my oyster at this point, so no final decisions have been made. You know, I am planning on having some mechanics related to, like, social standings, right? Like, you know, like games are like, oh, so-and-so didn't like that, so-and-so liked that, you know? So yeah, there's a potential for that. I do want like prisoners, I do want slaves and that kind of stuff. There will be AI NPC ran colonies throughout the world to interact with, so different factions and stuff. You can capture their pawns, they can capture your pawns, that kind of thing. Oh no, your morning is starting rough. I'm all right. We're almost at the end of the coffee, so it's only up from here. Is there swimming? Not yet. Not yet. There's no swimming yet. I will have that though. Or death once you get to a certain depth. Yeah, maybe I'll just do the new world where there's no swimming, there's no swimming locomotion, and that you just fucking die when you touch water. Maybe I'll do that. Drongy, I can help with this project. I've been watching your streams for some time now. Well, thank you for watching the streams. I don't know if I'm ready to work with anyone yet. I don't feel like I'm there yet. I don't even have a name for the fucking project, you know. Well, maybe someday, but I wouldn't hold your breath. I can tell you easy ways to work around some stupid code. Are you calling my code stupid? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Do I have experience in locomotion? I use ALS for my locomotion, and the experience I have is working within the ALS C++ refactored code with like, so that there's like a bunch of anim graphs and stuff like that in there. I can give some advice and tips. Well, if I need advice or tips about a certain thing, you know, I will ask. But I have been programming for quite some time now, so for the most part, I'm all good on the programming side of things now. I think the things I more so need advice on are like the rendering side of game development. That is definitely one of my weaker points. Arjat, welcome in, welcome back, good morning. Okay, let me see here, let me throw a breakpoint here. Let me throw a breakpoint here. You join my colony. Let's see if we can get this to fucking crash again. Go get that. It's been a couple of days. Has it? Already. Okay, what does our item handle look like here? Oh, the data table is null, I see. Okay, item data. What's my best way of doing that locomotion? Like copying what I have? Literally ALS, you can just take ALS. I use the, if you type in ALS community refactored C++, ALS. Okay, I just typed that in and you didn't search for it. Like if you type that in, this one is the one that I use. I think there's like the one on Fab. There's another GitHub one, and then there's this one. So I think there's actually 3 versions of it. But I use this one because I wanted C++ and it's like replicated out of the box, and it broke up like the monolithic anim graphs. So Yeah. He actually works on it too, 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Yeah, out of the box it works really nice, but it is a pain in the ass to work with, I will say. I will say. Okay, so I think the... Do I have to go and... Yeah, I think I do need to go back through and like add the data tables back on all these. I think. Let me catch up on chat here. I want to make a soldier's movement system where in free mode it's oriented to rotate. Briefing in an 8-way direction. Yeah, I mean, you could do that with ALS. I don't know that you necessarily need ALS for that. ALS is it's pretty complicated. I'll be honest. It's not the most straightforward or easy to work with. So, talk about bad time. I show up and the first thing I hear is, "I want slaves." The children yearn for the mines. Listen, it's not me. They want it. They want it. Oh, so you're asking what's the best way of doing the Dark Souls type locomotion? I mean, you could just do that with a nice blend space and some anim graphs. You don't need ALS for that. ALS is just a really nice out of the box thing. No, it's just like sometimes a bunch of code doesn't work. Yeah. Sometimes code doesn't work with each other, and you very rarely have to rewrite the whole thing. Yeah. But commonly you just have to edit certain parts and it sucks. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, that's how programming goes. I've been coding for 12 years or something now, and I've learned how to get around that stuff. Have you? The way you talk makes it sound like you've been coding for 2 months. I've been coding for 14. And basically what you just described is troubleshooting, which yeah, I think anyone who's done any amount of game development or really any amount of development understands that. I learned ALS. The problem with ALS is that it uses its own system of character direction instead of blend space way using character component. I mean, the one I have does have a couple blend spaces, but yeah, it doesn't use it for everything, right? Yeah, it does a lot of like C++ stuff, and yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, it's complicated. I want to use ALS as it's actually good, but struggle on making it work for blend spaces. Yeah, I mean, mine have blend spaces. Yeah, there's some blend spaces here. Somewhere. I say as I struggle to find them. They're somewhere. I promise. There's one. Using it for looking. Yeah, here's a bunch of blend. Dude, there's like a ton. There's a ton of blend spaces. Oh god, I shouldn't have opened all those. Yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated for sure. And yeah, my mesh is fucked up because I changed it to nanite, and for some reason that it doesn't like that. Green Coke, welcome in. You should be able to simple set up your character 2D blend space with 8-directional movement. Yeah, I think that's a much easier way to get into it. Character movement component, yeah. I want to use start, stop, and pivot animations. Couldn't figure that out. Made them in ALS though. I'm sure there's gotta be some tutorial on doing that, right? Are they blend spaces for handling movements or just additives? They seemed pretty additive, but I mean, some of them were for like walk, run, and stuff like that. But welcome in, everyone. I'm doing some game development. This is what I do. I do this. I try to do a little bit every day, for the most part. For those who don't know, I'm working on an RPG, Colony Sim Roguelite combo with procedural terrain and AI-generated quests. So here is my world. I got spawned into the Ironwood Forest. Moxie, you're interrupting me. Now you get to stay with me because you can't stop barking. So this is the world map, and each one of these different colors is like a different zone, or like a different biome. Yeah, I know, mommy's home. I know. She's home. Oh God. I know. Okay. Moxie. Oh my God. Cut some trees. Okay. Dynamic tree chopping. Here we go. So yeah, I'm not a modeler. I'm not an artist. So I decided it would be easier for me to do dynamic tree chopping. And of course, now everything is broken because of my data tables. Oh no, it's null. Oh no, Jesus. Okay. Can fit in inventory is true. Okay, so we're just gonna shoehorn in some, if there is no item, return false here. We're just gonna shoehorn in some of those till my data tables get fixed. Yep. Yeah, I have dynamic tree chopping though, is what I was trying to show off. But whenever you chop through the tree, it gives you some wood. It puts some wood in your inventory, and all the loot and inventory stuff come from some of my data tables, which I just yesterday I just kind of went through and fixed. They were getting corrupted on me because of some really silly Unreal Engine things happening. But yeah, the trees get deformed at runtime, so they are instant static meshes, and then they get changed into dynamic meshes where I can edit them at runtime. Let's try a new seed. 739, or no, it should be 439. 439. Let's see. Okay, so here's another seed. This one's kind of boring. It's pretty flat. We got some nice craters though. Some nice caves in here. So yeah, like you'll note, oh, I got spawned on the border. Oh, and that's ocean out there. That's all ocean, yeah. So normally there would be water there. I had to take the water out because of my 3D noise, my 3D caves. So this is kind of a bad seed, but it does show like the difference between two different zones. Like here's a zone, here's a zone. But let's try something. Let's try a different one. Kind of a bad example. 440. 440. Okay, a little bit better. Still kind of boring. Still kind of boring. But yeah, here's the... Oh, I'm also kind of on the edge of the world. Thunderhoof Plains. No, I'm in the land of the trolls. Thunderhoof Plains is right next to us. And then we can do like a little bit of combat here. Oh, he's an archer. Okay, hang on. Okay. Ooh, this is nice. That's kind of nice. Okay, so one cool part. Well, this is kind of a shitty seat too, isn't it? Okay, so there's different zones here. So here's a zone, and I surround them with mountains because I want them to be like really distinct areas with like their own names and stuff like that, and their own stories to tell. And if you think of a game like Minecraft or like Valheim, the biomes there, they just kind of like procedurally blend from one to another seamlessly. and they're not like distinct areas or anything like that. If you think about zones in something like World of Warcraft, like Vanilla WoW or something, like transitioning from one zone to another, it's like a very, first of all, it's a very like stark difference between zones, and two, there are like specific entrances and exits, and three, these zones have like specific names and vibes and stories and lore and stuff like that. So the latter is more so what I'm going for, like this World of Warcraft type zone feel, where they have a lot of personality, these zones. And I think surrounding them by mountains, it creates a really nice sense of exploration. And like when you cross the threshold from one zone into the other, it kind of like opens up in front of you, right? As opposed to like just seeing another biome off in the distance in like Minecraft or something, which can be kind of cool. But then you just kind of like see the whole thing as you're coming up to it. And so the way you get from zone to zone is through like these zone entrance chunks is one way, right? These are breaks in the mountains, the white dots are. So that's one way. And another way is for like the caves to like randomly go through the mountains, because you can't walk up these all the way. And so one way is to find a cave that goes from one zone to the other. The third way is to build up. You can build stairs all the way up if you have the resources for that. And another way is to dig your way all the way through it. And so, yeah, it creates this really cool moment of when you get from one zone to the other, and it's like a different biome, which, you know, I only have two. They're not super crazy at the moment, but I think it'll be a really cool sense of exploration. So, like, you open up into this zone, you can see the whole zone. I'll have some different points of interest spawned and stuff like that, so I think it'll be really cool. Really cool. So let's try a different, I'm going to try one more seed here, and then we may get to work. We'll see. 441. Okay, here's a different seed. I actually see here's a zone entrance chunk right here, although this might just be, oh, that's a plains biome. Okay. Well, we have a nice mountain there. Nice mountain there. Ultima Minecraft feudalism simulation. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Are you doing marching cubes or surface nets for the terrain gen? I use a combination of strategies. Marching cubes is one of them. I have 3 different compute shaders that generate the terrain. One of them is a height map generator that just does the height map and does a lot of different blending based on the terrain parameter, that like the terrain generation parameters that I have, like the noise parameters. It handles putting the mountains here on borders, and it handles blending between different types of noise. And so if we look here, the textures don't line up, so ignore that. Ignore the textures, but the terrain does blend smoothly and it connects. And so the height map generator handles that. That's a compute shader. The next one I have is the 3D noise compute shader, which, you know, generates all the underground caves and stuff. I've got a couple different sets of noise. I got like the noodle noise, the noodle noise here that creates these kinds of caves, and then I have the blob noise, which will create caves like this or like this. Well, no, this is also noodle noise, but yeah, a couple different types of 3D noise. And then the third compute shader I have is a custom marching cubes compute shader that connects them together. So somewhat voxelized, but it's not inherently tied to a voxel resolution. For instance, if I were to show you the vertex data, it's more so, this is the data for like what the terrain is made out of. This is also handled in a yet again another set of noise that I generate, but it's like a per vertex thing. So it's not like inherently voxelized. You know, marching cubes is a voxel algorithm, and the 3D noise I generate, you know, is used in a voxel way. But the height map, you know, that doesn't, you know, on the X and Y directions, it is a specific uniform resolution, but in the Z direction, it could be anything. So it doesn't necessarily line up to a voxel, the height map. And then the way that they get stitched together, like in these instances, doesn't always line up to a voxel, and it's kind of rough in some places. I could do a better job of it, I think, but yeah, it doesn't always line up to a voxel. And when you deform the terrain, the same will go there. Like when I deform the terrain, it'll just be based on the vertex locations. It's not going to be based on any sort of voxel or anything like that. So I'll use a combination of strategies is the answer. Nice, love it, love that stuff, but I could never get it to look quite right. Yeah, it's a fucking pain in the ass, man, dude. Getting the 3D caves, oh my gosh, like getting that to look correct with the height map without any holes or anything like that was so difficult. So difficult. So yeah, here's another section of the world. I want to go over to the, first of all, what am I in? I'm in the Echoing Caves. They are next to Widow's Mire, Thunder Pass, Ashen Storm Plateau, the Crystal Caves of Azure, and the Troll Cave. I want to go that way. I want to go that way. I want to see this big mountain zone here. And yeah, like this noise is a little too sharp, and it shows like I need to change the noise parameters a little bit to fit with the resolution a bit better. Let me see here. Where's that cave? Where's that mountain? So yeah, that zone looks sick. I love the large mountains zone. So yeah, welcome in everyone. Welcome in. This terrain noise was intended to be like difficult to navigate and difficult to build around in. Potentially higher in resources though to actually incentivize you to get out here. Potentially more dangerous as well, you know. This is my Meadows PCG graph here, so kind of flatter, more open, less trees, kind of vibe. Then can I chop trees now? Okay, let's see if we can chop trees now. Yeah, wherever the axe connects is like where it'll start deforming it. Yeah, okay, yeah, so let's go ahead and fix the data table stuff. That's just gonna continue to cause me issues. Okay, so yeah, am I manually putting the item data handle on here? Let me look at, so we just extend from food item. Let me look at that real quick. I may want to do this differently. It's having to wire up every single data table row handle. Okay, so let me think here. Full blueprint editor. Yeah, so there's no code in here. Let me think about how I want this to work. So going over to my item. I think the items should be spawned with what data table row they represent. I don't think the classes should have to define that. I don't think the classes should have to define that. Because otherwise I'm going to have to go and wire up every single item to make sure it has its proper row. So that's going to be kind of annoying. Let me just find the usages here. Of the class, rather. Building utils. Oh my goodness, so many places. Let me think here. Where do I do this at? Yeah, there's one. Get RNG loot. Create new item. Okay, where do I use that at? Create new item. Yeah, so we have the item handle. Get row. And where am I? Loot entry item handle. Ooh, okay. Loot. Yeah, okay, so that's the issue. That's the issue. Okay. Let me go to my environment objects table. Environment items. Okay. Yeah, here's the issue. This one does need to be wired up. Okay. I wish there was an easy way to default like the data table part of the data table row handle. That would be nice. I know you can probably write some like post init or like on property change type code that'll do it, but that's just kind of like, you know, I don't want to do that every single time. Okay, is that all I need to do? So create new item. I think I assume that the item spawned. Oh no, I do set it. I do set it from outside. Okay, so no, I don't need to set it on each item. It was just I think it was just the environment item table. Okay, so let's do another new seed here. 441. I pray that this isn't the middle of the ocean. It's not. Great. Is that the same seed that I was just on? And that might be the same seed I was just on. Which is fine. Okay, let's see if tree chopping works well now. Yes, yes, spawn all the things in. Okay. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, come on. One more. One more. There we go. Do I have wood? I have the wood. Although my default contents, I usually have default wood. Did I even get a wood for that? I did. Look at that little sliver of, what happens if I stand on it? Yeah, look at that. So yeah, that's the dynamic tree chopping finally. That is finally the dynamic tree chopping. So, I've not seen a game do something like that, and probably because it's just wholly unnecessary. But I think it's cool and fun. I will eventually get the Valheim-esque tree dominoes going as well. I want them to the trees to do damage when they fall. You know. Boop. Boop. The physics suck, I know. And then let me try to grab a mushroom, make sure that works here. Take. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're all good. We're good. Take. And then I can eat them. Yeah. Okay, so it's all working now. I just needed to fix the environment table, I guess. Okay, so yeah, what I'm working on today is going to be more item hierarchy stuff, which where are my NPCs at? There are like none in this area. Well, there's some. I would like a colonist. I would like a colonist. How to get a reference of player character inside interface. Is it possible? I suppose you'd have to pass it in some way. Yeah. That's a very dependent on how your systems are set up question, though. Got wood. Morning wood. Welcome in, Turning Cog. Yeah, those ones work so. Where are my colonists at, man? Where are my colonists at? Ooh, look at this big cave. Ooh, ah. I think this will be really fun to like build bases around and stuff. I think it'll make raids very interesting. Can you show me? Bro, I don't have your project. I can't show you how to do it with your own project. Like I said, that's a very dependent on how you set it up type of thing. Like I can't answer that question specifically for you. You will have to pass it into the interface functions, probably. Or you need a reference to it on whatever the containing class of the interface function is. Infamous floating grass. Yes, that's what I'm known for. That's what I'm known for. Guys, have you guys seen any green folk around? I need a green folk. What is the game? The game is called My Project. It does not have a name at the moment. It is an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite, though. Ah, here we go. Finally. Yes, you. Join my colony. Yes, good. Who are you? Nareen Breyer. Select target. Go pick that up for me. Okay, that works. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, there's another one. Okay, let's do an area like right there. Where did my dude go? Hello. Storage within area. Okay. So he should now pick up all the mushrooms in that area. 1, 2. Only 2? Oh, that one might be floating. Yes, I do need to fix the floaties. That one is floating literally right above the voxel. So yeah. Okay, so that's all working. That is all working. This is a nice little cave. Oh god, I almost fell through the ground right there. This is an interesting cave formation. A nice slow-mo fall. I know, I had to turn the physics sub-stepping like way up so that they don't fall through the ground. But then that just slowed everything down. Bro, this would be a nice... This looks like such a nice boss area, doesn't it? Like you fall down here and then there's like some boss that like comes down from like... It's like hanging on the ceiling right there. I'm feeling that vibe for sure. Nice. Get wrecked. Very diehard of you. Ding. Level 2. Okay, let's get to work now though. It's work time. Let's get some stuff done. Okay, close those guys. So the storage settings are not setting properly. They are not setting properly. Let me get this a little bit more organized. The noodles, they're getting boiled at the moment. Okay, let's go back to the test level. Let me get a fresh, clean slate here. Show me the output log, please. Oh god, it's full of stuff. Okay, we're just gonna hitch right here for a while. The problem I'm experiencing is that I passed the tag in to this like little tree, expandy tree widget thing, and it's like I look at it going in, it's correct. But it's none on construction, which is weird to me. So, I guess let's type in storage settings here. Okay, so we did construct some storage settings already. Can we get a counter for each language people mistake this for? I don't know if numbers go that high, turning cog. Okay, let's look at this. It's weird, like at the very end, they get set to none, which is what is showing up here. Storage settings, tree and tree 11. So there's like a ton of these. There's like, oh, no slate widget. Okay, so I think I don't understand the flow. I wonder if set list items. What happens if I don't do that? I'm assuming nothing shows up. Yeah, nothing shows up. So we do need that. Set list items. Where I build the children. But then it's like on storage settings, get item children. Array of object references. I mean, does this... I assumed this needed to return the same things. Let's throw a log here. Get item children for whatever this thing is. And did we wire that thing back up? We did, okay. Construct thing with tag, okay. Okay. Get item children. Oh dear. Okay, so they do kind of expand. They do kind of expand. Still, the names are not correct. Oh boy. When I was a child, we yearned for the mines. The children, they do yearn for the mines. Well, I remember the same. I remember yearning for the mines when I was just a young lad. Get item children for UI storage settings tree entry 0. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that does seem to be working the way I thought it would. On storage settings, get children. We're just gonna keep logging things until it makes sense. Build children. Construct with tag. Yeah, so we get like the proper construct with tag. Like this tag looks correct. What we see in set label looks correct. But what I see in the construct event, which maybe let's just not do this. Let's just not do that. Let's see what happens. Okay, now I'm seeing the term item label instead of none. So we're just not setting it at all now. Although I'm seeing a lot of them. So I guess that part gets, let me rerun this because when I click play, this is what gets built. 0, 1, and 2 are the root. They are the root settings. The tag label gets set. The tag label does get set. Set text on entry. Let me make sure that label is, yeah, item label, entry label text. Yeah. And then I'm logging it here. I'm logging this. My volume. What is it? The volume not good? Too loud, too quiet? So yeah, I am setting the tag label. I don't know why that's not actually showing to me. Set text. Is there anything else I can... What, am I using the wrong function here? I thought it was just set text. I mean, that's what I always use, so I'm not sure why. Oh, the volume. I see. Not audio related volume. I see. Dan May, welcome in. Good morning. And I don't see it. It's not like the tree entry 0, 1, 2 are not getting set again. It says no. Interesting. There's multiple C0s, right? I wonder if I can open up the, if I do this. Re-entry. There are multiple C0s, which is weird. That one's empty tag. That one is not empty tag. Okay, so how are the empty tag ones getting created? What is happening right now? Storage settings. When we construct, we set the list up. Yeah, there's definitely something I don't understand about how the storage settings tree works. What other functions do we have? Called when a row widget is generated for a list item, unclicked, hovered, select. This is all like events, not really like... Not like, entry widget class. I have that set properly. I don't see any other settings that I would need here that are standing out at least. Rolling list view, orientation, selection mode. That's all just styling stuff. Yeah, so I don't see anything. Oh, there's so many. I don't know. List view. Get selected. Item. Is item visible? Yeah, I need to find something that tells me how to use this. Unreal Engine tree view. How to. I thought I understood it. I do not. Oh, this is the guy that said it wasn't worth it. On entry initialized. Okay, so he's setting all of his information on this initialized event. Display widget, data widget. Preview implements some virtual item system, and the on entry initialized event gives you two params, both of the same class used for your items. Item is the virtual item, and the widget is the one you created in the get children function, which I presume he's talking about this one. Lazy boy, welcome in. Good morning, everyone. And the ones I'm creating on event, I'm building children. Passing in the root tags. Construct thing with tag. And I mean, it all gets constructed properly. Theoretically. Construct thing with tag. Construct thing with tag. Build children for tag. Weapon. So first of all, that's just not even getting the right children tags. Oh yeah, and that wouldn't even be, I'm not even setting the label on construct anyway. Try that again. Yeah, so the labels are correct there. Get item children for, yeah, that widget. Build children for tag weapon. But then I just make one with weapon. So we're not even, I don't even think that we're getting the right children here. Of course, I can't put a breakpoint in here because blueprints just do not like that. Is there a join method? Of course not. Is there any string to string? No, of course there's no string. Oh, I don't want to build my own string from this. I have to, that's so annoying they don't give you any like join function. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this actually. Preview. Is this actual documentation? No, it's not. It's just reference. Preview. Create an entry widget class. Just some UI elements in the intro. I got nothing. Update in original BP. I guess it's not a good sign that everything I found is like, yeah, the tree view sucks. Don't use it. Not a good sign. What type of game are you making? It's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combination with procedural terrain. Basic tree view tutorial. Okay, yeah. Give me this. Okay, creating the base entry widget. Okay. Create a struct, sure, creating the object class. When populating tree view, we will construct instances of this class, pass them the appropriate data, and add them to the tree. Okay, but so he's creating like a third class here? How do you make the game interesting? Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What is it? God damn, what is this editor coloring? The flashbang. Setting up the object list entry interface. Implement user object list entry interface. I'm pretty sure mine does do that. I have user list entry, is that right? Do I need to add user object? I do. Interesting. Interesting. Is that maybe why none of this was working? How do you not get brain fog? How many hours a day do you stream? It just kind of depends on the day. During the week, it's probably like 3-ish hours in the morning. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. The weekends, I stream for longer. How do I not get brain fog? I don't know. I think you just build up a tolerance to streaming. The more you do it, the longer you're capable of doing it. is implementing the interface. Next, we'll need to implement the necessary interface events. Sure. On list item object set. I don't have that one. I don't have that one. On list item. On list item. Okay, override. On list. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All the data we need, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I need to cast to, what am I casting this to? God damn. What is this? What is this? A screenshot for ants? Okay, so yeah, he's casting to like this intermediary object. Which I guess is the part that I'm missing. But how do you, he's just creating like a random, how does he actually wiring it together? Setting up entry data, oh my god. Dude, this is crazy that like Epic shipped a widget this complicated with like no docs on how to use it. That's crazy to me. And like it required this much text for someone, like some community member, to do it. We'll add the tree view to the screen. Is variable. Once the tree is added, go to the list entry section and make sure the entry widget class is set to your base entry widget. I mean, that is set to my base entry widget, right? And EP inventory object is not the same as inventory item for him. Inventory item is his entry thing. Get item children, yes. Go to the graph and implement the on initialized event. I mean, I'm doing it on construct. On initialized, sure. We'll do it there instead. So he's making add item. Okay. Okay, so yeah, he is using like these like I said, these intermediary objects to do it. But that's kind of annoying that there has to be like an abstraction layer there. I mean, I guess that's, I just use the same fucking thing. Like I don't want to have to remake literally the same thing that I've already made. On get item children function, you create specific cases for each entry. Let me think. You need to do different array children depending on which object it is. And then the children are make top sub children. Ew. What type is the children? Is that his objects? See, they were doing construct as well. End up adding a children variable to my class. It's an array of that object. Do I really have to create this third object class? Why can't I just use the widgets themselves? I don't need that layer of abstraction. So I think this guy is using the same class for both. So yeah, there are, I guess there are two representations of the widget. But on entry initialized. I don't have that. I don't have that function. I don't know, maybe because I implemented the right one this time, it will work. Let's just see what the difference is here. If there's any. Still just says item label. Still just says item label. Yeah, I think like the things that I'm passing around are like the data things, right? And then I need to do like the on initialized or whatever. Cast to whatever this class is, which is tree entry. Right? Called when this entry is assigned a new item object to represent the owning list view. And then what are they? God, why is this so complicated? Creating the inventory screen. Setting up the interface. Whoops. Okay, yeah, what did he do here? I open image in new tab so I can actually see here. Okay, so it gets past the data version and then I need to set, okay, that makes sense. Get tag, get item hierarchy, tag name, pass it in. Doth that displayeth. It does. Oh, he did it. Okay. I somewhat get it now. Although, yeah, my snobjects are not getting got here quite as well. Okay, so the get children, I don't think my function is returning the children properly. Which will be in my project game mode. Good item hierarchy, tag children. So yeah, breakpoint there. For tag. Hello, please. For tag weapon. Weapon, resource, food. Yeah, that's not correct. That's not exactly what we want. Let's try that again with resource. Parent tags. Empty. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. That makes sense. Resource. Why did I think getting parent tags? Oh, right, because then I need to use the child. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't have... Yeah. No, this makes sense. This makes sense. Current entry, dot child tags, dot resource. So I should get resource and in return its child tags. But no, I just add the tag. No, that's not what I want. I don't add that tag. I add all of the child tags. That was the mistake I made. Does that not work? No, because we can't, yeah, I need to... Wait, so for current entry dot child tags, hang on, let me look at this again. Current entry dot child tags. I need to get auto current entry children child tags, and then I need to find the leaf name. Yeah. I need to get the leaf tag. For Conan, welcome in. Hope all is going well. Gotta mute for meetings, but I'll be lurking. Thank you. I appreciate your patronage. We're figuring out how to use this object tree, or this tree view UI component, which I think I got it figured out. I just need to fix my own code now. Just need to fix my own shit. Yeah, going well. Going well. Thank you for asking. Good luck with your meetings. Yeah, okay, so I have to think about this as if I'm doing a multi-tiered tag here. Tree view sounds very useful. I've been searching for like how to use it, and I did find a nice tutorial for it. But it's like all the other posts I've seen about it say that it's like difficult to use, and other people were recommending using something else. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay, but yeah, we go through the parent tags to get the current entry. We find the current entry. Now, that means we do child tags dot find parent tags of I. Now, the leaf tag name we don't get, so that's why my root tag here isn't doing anything. Empty parent tags. That makes sense. And so we're starting at the root basically. So I need to get child tags at whatever the leaf name tag is. I need to like create a tag out of the leaf name, I think. Request tag with the leaf name. We find with that tag. I think that's the key here. My UI experience is limited in general, but I feel like tree view is always difficult regardless of language and framework. Yeah, I've worked in many different UI frameworks now, and yeah, it's just kind of a, there's a lot of state to consider. So they're very useful and super necessary though. So we'll get it done one way or another. Leaf tag children. Leaf tag children. So then I think what we do is we just add, so leaf tag children, let me think here, current entry we would get at resource. And then, yeah, we want to add all the tags in child tags. So, yeah, so we're just going to add the child tag entry tag now. That sounds so... we find this guy. Dot entry, leaf tag children. No, we need to do dot entry dot children here. And the wrapper classes I had to make for this just makes it so difficult. Like I had to put structs inside of structs because you can't do a self-referential struct. I need this entry to be like, I need this like hierarchy that I'm building with gameplay tags to be like any number of levels deep, right? So I had to create this like really nasty struct here for the item hierarchy entry where it has a struct defined inside of it, and then I had to like create a wrapper. Like this is the wrapper that does equality so that I can put it in a map and I can handle equality based on the tag, you know, and I can put them in sets and maps and have it be unique. And it's just nasty. It's just a little nasty. So tag child entry tag. I think this is going to work better now though. Let's try this out. Yeah, and then you have to store them. The only way you can do a self-referential struct is to make it a pointer. And so you'd have to use a t-shared pointer to maintain the reference in memory. Otherwise, you need a different data structure to contain the raw pointers if you were using raw pointers, right? Otherwise, they'd get, you know, just disappeared. They'd get Thanos snapped by the garbage collector. Okay, live coding just taking an eon as usual, as per usual. Okay, yeah, so those are probably all going to be old. So let's restart here. Okay, what do we got? Those are tags. Yep, okay, we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Oh shit. Requested gameplay tag was not found. Which one? Which tag was that? Get leaf tag name pickaxe. Okay. Yeah, I need the full tag now at this point, right? So leaf tag actually leaf tag is just item tag. Leaf tag is just item tag, I think here. Okay. All right, live coding. Thank you very much. Oh God, what is this? Can we? No. Okay, we're gonna have to rebuild. Don't know what that is. Not gonna worry about it. Just gonna chalk that up to live coding. Gonna chalk it up to live coding. Now, do I need another coffee? I think I do. Is now the time? I want to see if this works first. I want to see if this works. We'll need to do some more UI stuff. Like, I probably need to manually apply padding and indentation to the sub levels, you know? Probably need to add some min width on there and stuff, because I think right now it's just defined by probably whatever the longest item entry is at the moment. Okay. Hello? What the fuck? Why didn't that work? What? Okay, now my area thing is broken? What is this? Oh. Yeah, I need to fix the starting voxel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. That didn't fix it. Item tag. Weapon.pickaxe. Current entry. Weapon. Child tags. Entry. Child tags. Weapon.pickaxe. Pickaxe. Leaf tag children is null. Find item weapon, not pickaxe. Child tags. That's null? I mean, I guess I do need to handle the null case. I mean, that does make sense, but it shouldn't be null here. And child tags is my item hierarchy child thing, which has its equality and hash based on whether the entry is valid. The entry is the item hierarchy class, which is based on the tag. If the tag is equal. Why is that not finding? Why is that not getting finded? Okay, let's just make sure we handle the null case here. So wrap that. We can do an if in it, that's fine. I don't think it should be null, but we need to rebuild. We will rebuild. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm not thinking about the equality operators on those nested structs very, very well. Maybe it doesn't work like I think it does. So I just want to see what like the UI gives me, you know? Okay. Weapon. It does, it's giving me what I want actually. So underneath weapon, they're not indented properly. Let's get that out of here. They're not indented properly. But underneath weapon, we have pickaxe, one-handed mace, two-handed axe, dagger, bow, ammo, torch, you know. And then clicking these, yeah, they don't really have, they're not showing their final one. Resource, wood, stone, straw, crafting. Okay, so we got it, it's somewhat working. It's somewhat working. Nice, okay, that's working. I still need my final thing there. But I guess now I need some padding, right? I need to dynamic apply padding based on the depth. Is this pie game? It is Unreal Engine. That might be a joke. If it's a meme, that's a funny meme. It's Unreal Engine though. Okay, so now I need to determine what depth we're at. I need to determine the depth of the tag. Which could, if I build children, I can set list items. Build children. Get item hierarchy, tag children. I wonder, is there any built-in data for the depth of this? On initialized, yeah, that doesn't have any information for me. Interfaces, object list entry. Oh. On selection changed, on set. That's just an object. I would very much like to have some piece of information as to the depth, and it would be nice if they gave that to me so that I don't have to go figure it out. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I think I need to build the children with their parent. I need to pass in the parent. And then that, excuse me, and then that way, I can use the parent to backwards figure out what depth we're at. Okay, so let's do that. We'll do that. So give me another tag. Parent tag. Gameplay tag, parent tag, and then yeah, I'll want to pass that into here, so we're gonna add parent tag here. Let's actually spell it correctly as well. Insta expose on spawn. Yes, please. And then refresh. No, I need to compile. Compile. Refresh. There we go. Parent tag. No. There we go. Passing in the parent tag. Wonderful. Now I need to pass that in. Parent tag is this guy. Okay, so now I guess I need to write a function for getting the padding. I guess maybe I could set it here, size box. Yeah, let's keep size box the same and then add, can I add padding here? Yeah, slot size box. So let's make this a variable. And then when this gets set, I will need to, oh, I can't set padding. What? As size, isn't there like an as size box slot? Yeah, and then we can set padding. Yeah, there we go. In padding. Can I break this? Can we split? Yeah, there we go. Sick. Okay, so and then I guess I need like a let's just create like a padding padding per depth. All right, we'll do padding per depth multiplied by whatever our thing is. It'll be padding left. Compile. That's let's just make that like, I don't know, 20 for now, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. I'll have to play around with it, but I need to plug something into here. That is get depth. It'll be an integer, but I need to pass in the parent function. And I suppose this is going on game mode. And again, I need to put all of this probably into its own like little container. Get item data by tag. Get the name. Get root item hierarchy tags. I need to walk up the tree, basically, now. Although I guess get item hierarchy tag children, I could return it there and just set it as well, so we don't do extra work. Yeah, maybe that's better. Get item hierarchy tag children. And then the depth. How would I increment the depth here? How would I want to increment the depth here? I think actually make it, we're going to change this to return depth. Return. Just return an int. Child tags. Yeah. Return an int. Okay, so parent, it's really the, I guess it's the number of parent tags, right? Depth equals number of parent tags. So we'd have x.y.z. Get parent tags for that would be 2. There would be 2. So depth equal parent tags.num question mark 0 1 2. Yeah, because I would want it to be 0 based as well. So I think that is actually as simple as that. I think it's as simple as that. Because if you just had the root tag, like resource weapon or whatever, which would be just like X, that would have 0 parent tags. So it'd be set to 0. If it was X.Y, it'd have 1. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. So I think that's it. I think that's actually easy peasy, lemon squeezy here. So change this actually to depth. Padding per depth, and then change that to int depth. Can't parse the default value for property depth. Yeah. I don't know why it would. I don't know why that was the case. Wrong one again. Depth. Okay, so this one is going to return. That one should return. Get item hierarchy tag children. And then depth, yeah, that one just defaults to 0 because that's the root one. Okay, yeah, let's rebuild that. Okay, I'm gonna go make another cup of coffee while that rebuilds. So I'll be right back, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I'm back and I have coffee. And I have hope. Mainly coffee, though. Okay. So this actually... Depth will be on here. Pass that in. Okay. And then in here... It is backwards from what I would want it to be, but that works. Let's change this. Can we change the order here? Oop. Nice. Can I name the return value? Is there a, there's probably a meta tag for that, meta property. Is that all I need now, though? Let's see. Test it out. We did not get any padding. What are the chances I can breakpoint here? No, yeah, I didn't think so. Didn't think so. Yeah. So we'll have to log. I'm gonna guess this part is not working properly. Hang on. I need to know the tag first. There we go. Okay, so once again, opening the output log. Padding is 0. Depth is always 0. Is that the case, or did the padding default value just not get set? Padding per depth is set to 20. I guess the depth is probably 0 for all of these, which is not what we want. Yeah, depth is 0. Okay. Why is that? Are you trying to create the next Fortnite? No, far from it. You're actually curious and not memeing. I'm trying to create an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combination. With procedural destructible terrain. Which I can show. Do a quick little demonstration here. I will put my money where my mouth is. I like sandbox games, so I like this game. Yeah, I love sandbox games too. So, we are cut from the same cloth, my friend. Here's my procedural terrain so far. I have some distinct terrain noises for each zone. You can see how like a zone begins and ends with these border mountains. And here's the entrance right here at this break in the mountains. So this will be like, this is one of my, I only have like 2 biomes right now, but this is my, it's not fully spawned yet. This is like my default, this is my default zone noise and biome. And then over here is like my plains or meadows biome. So we got some hemp, there's some sunflowers, some flax right there. Less trees, you know, just a couple big rocks. Probably need to do less rocks. And then I got a zone over here with like some really tall mountains and stuff. And of course we have the underground caves, which were a massive pain in the ass to get working properly. But they look sick now. They look quite sick. So yeah, that's a little bit of the game. Is Chunks Chunks are auto-generated, yeah. So this is just a small section of the world right now. Here's the world map. Each pixel on here is a terrain chunk. And so we're only generating like a radius about this big right now. So it's a big world. And then each of these zones is going to have like, it has a specific name and a vibe and a story and stuff, or it will. We're in Echoing Caves right now is the name for that one. Widow's Mire is this one. Thunder Pass, Crystal Caves of Azure, Phantom Spire, Ashen Storm Plateau, the Troll Cave, Whisperthorn Crag, the Philosopher's Academy of Wisdom, Mirror of Truth, the city of the gods. Yeah. So yeah, small demo. Yeah, it is a big world. May need to cut it down. May need to cut it down a little bit. So yeah, that's the demo. That's the short and sweet demo. I'm working on like item storage hierarchy settings. So like you can build these areas, right? And they can be used for different things, like construct things in this area. You know, there's these allowed task types in. You can haul things to this area, which makes it like a storage area. So I need to build out this like item hierarchy, you know. I'm working on that. I'm trying to get these like indented. You have to wait a second to click again, or else it doesn't work. I'd like that to be a little bit more responsive. Okay, we were going to construct. Yeah, and I guess like I don't know if the construction thing. Well, the tag one worked. That is the function depth variable. This game launched. Oh no. Oh no. It doesn't even have a name yet. It's all placeholder assets at the moment. Depth. Yeah, so that doesn't seem to be getting. Let's check the return value on it, I guess. Let's check the function. Depth is 0 for tag weapon. That makes sense. Weapon not pickaxe. It is returning the right one. Yeah, it is. That's returning the right value. So they're just not getting set properly here. I mean, I'll just do that just to make sure it's the right one. The thing is, tag is getting set I can't breakpoint here. So let's do this. Construct with tag, depth. Put that there. Where's the construct with tag depth? Okay, so yeah, wait, what? The depth for this is never passed correctly? Child tags, which is nothing. Depth. What kind of problems did you have with your data tables? Was it some kind of nested structured object pointers? No, it was actually really fucking stupid. Digital corruption biome win. Probably not the vibes for my game. I'm going more fantasy, so probably no digital corruption. But, you know, maybe if my algorithm doesn't work properly, I'll just write it off as that. Okay, but here is the problem with my data tables. So, you can have a gameplay tag table list, and it will automatically add any tags in this table to your gameplay tags here that you can use throughout Unreal Engine. That's great. Now, in order for that to happen, you need to use the gameplay tag table row as the struct for your data table. I was like, okay, sick. I will extend from that because I also want tags on each of my items. Right, this is the item hierarchy part, right? Here are my tags. Tags are right there. So I was like, okay, sick. This struct that I'm using for my item data, I will just extend from gameplay tag table row. That works great, right? That works. That was the part that was corrupting it. Like, I can extend from that table row, and so I can specify these gameplay tags here. But the second that I put it here, that corrupts the table. The second you take it out of there, the table's fine. So basically what I found out is, like, I thought it was me. I thought I was the problem. I thought that I changed the struct, you know, I changed what this struct's definition. I thought that messed it up, you know. I was like clearing all my build caches and stuff. I couldn't figure it out. And then I finally narrowed it down to this. And when it's not in here, it works totally fine. The second you put a table in here that is not that exact struct, that exact gameplay tag table row struct, it breaks that table. So I have to have two tables now that have duplicated information, which is really annoying. I would rather just have one as kind of like the source of truth for like what the tags are. But basically I just have to, like, I have the, you know, I export this as a CSV and have it in Google Sheets. So I just have to import the same CSV to both of these. And then of course it like ignores all the fields that don't exist, right? Or whatever. But yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid that that's the case. That was the issue. So yeah, skill issue. Skill issue on my part. So yeah, this is the thing, man. This is the thing. It's so weird. Build children for tag. The tag is correct. The depth is correct. That is this part right here, where I'm getting the item children. I pass the children, right? Build children. This is not correct. This is not correct. I don't know why. The tag is correct here, though. Construct thing with tag. Tag is correct. Well, I guess the children tags are correct, I should say. Well, no, actually, hang on. Oh, this is so hard to read. Oh, no, yeah, it's wrong. Constructing with tag. Yeah, it's wrong. 'Tis wrong, me lord. Wood, stone, straw. Depth was 0. Yeah, okay, so that just, I guess, I don't know. Passing it in. Why does only the tag seem to work here? I don't know. Buska, welcome in. Just got the tail end of you explaining that. Good to know. Yeah, it was literally like entirely to do with just that plugging into that gameplay tags table, which is stupid. Like, I did so much to figure that out. Let me print. Build children. It's like literally getting the wrong thing passed in, which is crazy. Oh wait, we do. It is correct at first. It is correct at first. Right, but it's like the yeah, I have to set it. Right. Don't do I? Because there's like the data version and there's the UI version. This is the data version. Build children 0. Construct thing with tag. Uninitialized. I'm doing the same thing here though. Like, why is depth not sticking? I mean, I guess let's like set it afterwards as well, like we do with the label. Although I'm not even using the label there and at that point. Still zeros. Construct thing with tag. It is exposed on spawn. It is instance editable, just like gameplay tag. So how is gameplay tag getting set correctly? How is the tag getting set correctly? Build children. Build children for tag. Should we go on create whatever? Build children 1. But then it's like the tags are empty or something. Let's just write num children here or something. Num children. God, this is getting so messy. Build children. Depth. Num children. Okay, num children 7. That's right. Okay, I'm reading. Build children depth 0. Num children 7. Oh, I'm getting depth for... Well, no. What am I returning the depth for here? Get item hierarchy tag children. Do I need to do depth +1 actually here? But this one says depth is 1. God damn, why is this so confusing, man? Build children depth 0. Num children 7 for weapon. That part is correct. Although the depth that gets passed in build children for tag. Yeah, I need to do +1. Because I'm building children for the... I think that's why. I just need to do +1. Then the sheer number of logs was throwing me off there. No, it's still fucking 0. God damn it. Okay, hang on. Let me get. I need fresh logs. I need fresh logs. Depth is still getting passed as 0. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, weapon.dagger depth is 0, which is at that is the end result here. Hang on, let me add 0 earlier in the process so I can actually get proper logs. And so that'll be here, essentially. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. Now I just need to make sure that I have things underneath here. Okay. Oof. Oof. Okay, so why are my final values... Why are my final values not valuing? I assume that's this issue. I'm gonna move this out of the if init. Okay, run live coding. We're gonna debug that bad boy. We're gonna debug it. Welcome in, everyone. Good morning to you all. I hope you're having a great day. I am working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain. Let's check out a new seed. 441 will do 442. And it's all ocean, so bad example. Bad example. But I'm going for a game that's something like Vanilla WoW RPG plus RimWorld Colony Sim plus Hades Roguelite. This is a pretty standard seed, not super exciting here. We do have some mountains and, you know, a couple different terrain noises, but it's all kind of flattish, you know. But it does a good job of showing zone entrance chunks. But yeah, this is a little bit of the world. We got some underground caves as well to explore. That's what those look like. And we got a bunch of entities spawned in the world too. So here I am. Here's the world. I guess we have the other zone there. So let me look at the world map. Here's the world map. I am in Gloamspire, and we were looking at Frostvale Basin over there. So these are all just like kind of randomly generated zone names. But each of these zones is surrounded by mountains. And the white dots are how you get from zone to zone. And so we're actually looking through one of those right now. So if I were to zoom out, you can kind of see the edge of the zone that I'm in currently kind of goes like this, right? And then there's the break in the mountains that allows you to go from this zone to the next one. And so you'll start in like a zone that's one way, and then as you cross the threshold into other zones, it'll be a different kind of vibe. And I only really have two right now that are pretty similar, just this default forest I have over here, and then the meadows over here. And the terrain noises should be pretty different as well. Only have a few of those, so a lot more work to do. Let's try a different seed here, see if we can get something more interesting. You know, something interesting like a completely flat ocean. You know, because you know how interesting that is. 445. Oh god, I can't type. 445, there we go. Also ocean. So like, you spawn in the middle. Ocean is just flat right now. I need to actually change it and fix it. But there's a lot of stuff to work on. Okay, here's another seed. See if this one's any more exciting. Not really. Not really. This one's pretty flat too. We do have some nice looking caves though. Eventually I'll spawn ore and monsters down in the caves. Potentially some procedural dungeons would be really cool. And I need to do points of interest on the surface, because right now it's just all environment, you know. But eventually I'll have like NPC ran colonies and stuff. You'll build your own colony. You'll get to interact with all these different NPC colonies that are being ran in the world. And what I want to do is actually have the whole world running at all times. That one wasn't a terrible seed, but I did still spawn in the ocean. And so like if you build a colony and you send a bunch of guys out to chop wood, like, and then you run away from the colony and go to the, you know, like the other side of the world, which is very big. Can you try seed 1597? Sure. 1597. Good seed. Bad seed. Sorry, mate. Bad seed. What was I on? Like 449 or something? Also a bad seed. I need to fix this. I need to fix this. I just need to, oh god, of course. Of course. Now we have to rebuild. Because I need to edit the nav generation to shut down properly. Damn, I know. I need to fix it. What I do right now is just like, I always spawn at chunk 00. And if that chunk is ocean, I just run the random stream again and get a new seed number. It's deterministic, so it's based off the input seed. And then I try again. I just generate a new map. So it's kind of brute force, but I only do that up to 20 times. And it still happens all the time. So I need a better method. And I should probably actually just add some offset to the generation to like move 00 off to the side, you know, where it's to where you actually have land. Yeah, it's kind of a bad seed as well. It's not super exciting. Not super exciting. But yeah, if you actually send guys out to go chop wood, I want them to have to run and chop wood no matter where you are in the world, right? So I want your colony, potential multiple colonies, to be online at all times. And same goes for the AI ran colonies that can potentially raid your base while you're gone, you know? They could attack your colonists, they could capture them, you could capture the enemies, you know, put them in prison camps, make them slaves. They may make your guys slaves, you know? So, a lot of different outcomes. What I'm going for, and I want the whole world to be online to make it actually feel alive. We've got some nice tall mountains over there. I might run over there and see what's going on with that zone. Is that in that direction? It is. Okay, so let's run that way. And I'm going for combat, something similar to WoW. Oh god, the casters are actually kind of hard. Something similar to WoW, but perhaps a little bit more interactive. I am reusing a little bit of their assets. I have dynamic tree chopping too, so wherever the axe connects, it actually deforms the mesh at runtime. Rather than doing what the other games do, which is like, you know, replacing the mesh with a chopped one. There's like, you know, there's like the unchopped mesh, there's the in progress chop mesh, and then the post chop mesh, you know what I mean? So for me, I can't model anything, so I just use code to do it for me. And then that puts some wood in your inventory that you can use to build things. You know, we can build some stairs. It's not working at the moment. I broke it. Okay, try again. You can build some stairs. Oh, I only have 10 wood. I need 100. Okay, I lied. You need a lot more wood to build it. So there's a nice tall mountain. The mountains are interesting, right? All this like kind of generic noise is not that interesting. But I think eventually what I'll do is I'll have points of interest procedurally spawned in each zone. And I'm doing like AI generated quests and stuff like that. So, and the names of the zones are AI generated as well, but they're just like completely random at the moment. They don't, they're just like ones I take from a database basically. But eventually I want to actually pass in all of the things that are spawned into the zone, along with like, you know, like what points of interest there are, what types of mobs spawn there, you know, what types of environment items are there, you know, is it a forest kind of thing, what's the terrain like, pass in all that information to the AI and get it to actually like generate some interesting names for the zones that are actually fitting. I think that'll be really fun, just to give it some more flavor, you know. Did you make that building system yourself, or did you install a plugin for it? It started as a plugin, and I've kind of just ship of Theseus'd it. It was just a free plugin. What is it, like easy building system or something? But I've replaced so much of it by now that it's kind of its own thing to a certain extent. So yes and no. Everything's a little haggard, a little rough around the edges. We just got a nice mountain here. Yeah, I think this zone has my favorite terrain noise because it's like these kind of really large features that are very sweeping. So I just like scaled the noise way up, basically. Oh, that's cool. You can like walk all the way up here from down there. That's neat. Bro, did you gonna make Gao 6? Brother, my brother in Christ, I need you to formulate a better sentence than that. I need you to try again. What do you want me to do with that? What do you want me to do with that? So yeah, I don't know how to get into that other zone. Not sure if there's a cave or something I can go through. There's this one. That one does actually go through, but am I on that side? Where am I? Okay, so I can hang it right here. Okay, apparently, okay, we're gonna jump down in this cave. Some baddies in here. We're just gonna run right through them. We're gonna run right through them. Bro has all the tenses. I know, that was a journey to read that sentence. It was a journey that included several different train wrecks. God of War, Gears of War, so many games. Yeah, I know, right? I assume Gears of War, because God of War, like, doesn't have numbers in their titles. You know? So I assume it was Gears of War. So yeah, these zones have, like, borders to them, and so I think it's really cool to have to find the entrances and exits, or find, like, what I just did, which is I found a cave that went from one zone to the other. He's also asking if I'm going to make a new version of a game that has its own IP. Owned by a company that's not me. That's not a solo person. Yeah, I like this. This is a nice little open glade here. This is nice. Look at that. We got some nice mountains over there we can go look at. Some caves here. Oh, there's a meadows biome over there. I see it. I see it. I just said God of War, all caps. It looks like because of axe, and you did nice work, actually. Okay, so you're saying that this looks like God of War because my guy is holding an axe. I appreciate that. Thank you. I will have to disagree that this looks like God of War, though. It's all placeholder assets at the moment, so I am not trying to recreate God of War. So yeah, I think the zone borders create this really nice sense of exploration. So, you know, you see an area like this, you're like, oh, and then it's like a completely new zone over here with different terrain noise. Eventually there'll be different textures and different terrain materials that you can actually like dig up and stuff like that, you know, and actually use to like build things. You know, you can dig at stone. There's some stone here. Different resources in the zone, different points of interest, potentially different factions, you know. That kind of thing. That kind of thing. Really cool, dude. Super exciting. Thank you. For solo dev, this game is definitely looking insane. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Is the online part of the game going to be like Rust or more like RPG involved? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like an MMO or anything, just to be clear, but yeah, I want you to be, it'll be like, you know, like Minecraft or Valheim, where you can just like start a server and play with friends is what I'm going to go for. So it's kind of like really up to you how you want to set up the server, right? You could set up a PvP server if you wanted to, or you could do, you know, co-op. It's kind of up to the player, you know, at that point, what the rules of engagement are. Yeah, the newest God of War was one shader away from a high-res asset pack. Yeah, that's why I disagree. This is all like placeholder stylized assets. You know, these are all like free assets that I picked up. So, pretty far stone skip away from God of War. See if I can I walk up here? We'll see. I can. Ooh. Oh, this is a nice little vista up here. Nice. Oh, look at, see, I love that moment where you're like, what's on the other side? And then it opens up and it's a new zone, you know? I love that moment. I think it's a really cool moment. Oh, dedicated servers? No. I'm not gonna kid myself and act like I can make a game with that kind of fidelity solo, you know? It'd also be kind of hard to do it on a large scale for like the Colony Sim side of the game. There would need to be a lot of considerations there. Dedicated servers not really harder to make rather than player hosted. It's just harder to host. I mean, I'm thinking more so the things that make it hard are like the security constraints and stuff like that. Like, I understand like the actual code running would probably be pretty similar, but like me hosting it myself means I have to like stop hackers and bad actors. You know, people have to go through, you know, servers that I own. So there's like financial considerations for me. There's also just like liability considerations and stuff like that. Like, it's just kind of like a much bigger can of worms for those types of reasons, not necessarily like, you know, what code is running where. That part's not that big of an issue, right? Same network code. I don't think I'm capable of getting it to the integrity that it would need to be at. And I think just letting people do it on their own is a lot better, because they can just kick people off their own servers if they want to, right? I don't have to, like, I would need like GMs and like customer support and all that shit, you know? When you look over the map from that mountaintop, it gave me the WoW map discovering times I had in Wildcat. That's exactly, you know, vanilla WoW is exactly what I'm modeling the vibe for zone discovery off of. Like, each of these having different names and having, you know, some sort of, right now it's all mountains as borders, but they will have just some sort of physical border between the zones, like maybe a river or something, just like WoW. So when you cross that threshold, it's this really cool experience. And because it's procedural, it's always going to be different, right? And I don't want like static biomes like, you know, Minecraft and Valheim. It's procedural, but each biome is the same. You go to a jungle biome, it always has the same stuff in it, right? Like, I want those to be a little bit more dynamic, so it doesn't, like, even though there's a meadows biome over there, maybe it doesn't have all the same resources and stuff like that. Maybe it doesn't have all the same points of interest, you know? So I hope to make it a little bit more dynamic so that the sense of exploration and discovery is a little bit greater, right? Can you stop jittering around when I'm trying to show people the game? Thank you. And I think it'll be really cool because I will definitely make some zones that only spawn, because like it'll be like zones towards the center will be lower level, and then as you go further out it'll get higher level and more difficult. And I think it'll be really cool because it'll change each playthrough depending on what zones like you start with, right? Like maybe there's like a, you know, some sort of like fiery zone, like lava type zone where there's a bunch of fire mobs that give you, you know, fire mobs drop some like reagents to create some, you know, fire potions or weapons or something like that. And then like, so therefore your start experience is way different because like the things that you're crafting, you have access to this like fire reagent or whatever, you know? So that'll change the playthrough substantially, I hope. But we're quite a ways away from stuff like that. I don't have any crafting in here at all. How long does it take to make all this? I've been working on this for over 2.5 years now. Lots of that is handled by just using an out-of-the-box hosting service, but fair enough. I don't think so. I understand that the server out-of-the-box has some stuff on it, but like I said, all of the stuff that is on me now, moderation, game masters, there's finances, I have to handle people's like subscription type payments or something like that. Like there's a lot to that. And it's all like just the liability alone, right? Like I would need like a terms of service for the like there's a lot there. I understand that there are some security setups and stuff like that on servers and shit, but it's not, there's more to it. There's more to it. I mean, you have a hub world UE5 game pack that handles dedicated servers. Quite easy to set up, and it keeps the load on the server lows. It's loaded in zones and hub-based players and locations. It's fair to not want all those extras that come with maintaining dedicated and interacting with players. Yeah, it's all the stuff surrounding dedicated servers that makes me not want to do it. I know you mentioned there'll be POIs. Will there be like main cities? Because having a generated city like Stormwind sounds interesting with generated NPCs living inside. Yeah, dude. I want nothing more than to have... Where did my big mountain go? Okay, well, imagine this is a bigger... I've seen bigger mountains generated, but imagine a procedural Iron Forge sticking out of this. That would be sick. And like, I don't know if I'm going to like specifically write something for like, this is a main city. There will be different sizes of NPC ran colonies in the world. We'll see what my entity system can handle. Right now, I probably have... Let's see how many entities I have running right now. I have over 2,000. Okay, I have 2,500 entities running right now. And, you know, we're still getting... And this is in editor, so it's lower performance. I'm at 40 FPS right now. So, 2,500 entities, you know... You could call that the cap for the world. You know, combat is my biggest bottleneck right now. I can only have about 200 entities in combat because the gameplay ability system needs to run on the game thread. But I'm gonna override all that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But it'll really depend on how many entities I can handle, what the kind of maximum size of the colonies will be. But yeah, I will definitely have some larger and smaller colonies, right? 200 entities in combat is pretty good, though. Yeah, it's not bad. It runs at like 30 FPS, so it's not bad. It's a good start, right? But I can do better. I know I can do better. Welcome in, No Adder. How you doing, buddy? But yeah, there would definitely be larger and smaller colonies, larger and smaller factions as well. There'd be faction reputations, individual entity, you know, player to colonist, social settings and statuses and stuff, you know. How much does this guy like this other guy, you know? Very much like RimWorld in that regard. In my game, each game will have a different fruit that is safe to eat, etc. Oh, is this, that sounds like Animal Crossing, where you'd have to go to a friend's world and get their fruit, which sold for more in your world because it was like exotic or whatever. Which game is that? This is the game I'm working on. Doesn't have a name yet. You could use tags for biomes and cities. That way you could set variables that decide the tag pool, which then influence the random map. Yeah, I think I pretty much have what you're talking about. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I haven't done procedural POIs. I'm also going to do procedural landmarks, like terrain formations and stuff like that. I think I have some ideas on how to use PCG to carve into the world a little bit, which I think will be cool. Planning on doing things like volcanoes and like quarries, craters, plateaus, those kinds of like interesting terrain formations as well. What are you doing to prevent scope creep? Absolutely nothing. Coffee and building our game's intro tutorial level today. Nice. Sounds like a good day. Looking forward to following your passion project. Hell yeah. Appreciate the follows and the subs and everything, of course. Is ALS a constraint for how many characters you can have combat performance-wise? I only use it for the player. The player is the only one that has ALS on him, so no. All these other guys are instant static meshes. Well, that guy's an actor, but he's about to change into a static mesh, and now he's a static mesh. So they're VAT animated. And I take a blend space that I actually sample on the background thread and pass to the materials. So the blend space blends, you know, the locomotion from walking to running and stuff like that, and the turning directions and stuff. So I'm using the same blend space that the actors use, but I'm just sampling it in C++, like for every single entity, and then taking the weights for each of the animations and then passing it to a material that I have that will blend between the three animations on in a material. Like, so animating all happens on the GPU essentially. So basically free. All those guys down there, like that guy running around, he's a vertex animated static mesh, which look pretty good. Like you wouldn't really, there's like this one frame of flicker that happens, and like you can see the shadows turn on, right? Which I can even put shadows on them when they're static meshes, but I just gotta like prevent one frame of flicker, and then I think they're probably pretty good. You can't really tell. PCG implemented to this extent is awesome. PCG is an absolute fucking RAM hog. It's a little RAM slut. PCG is. So I need to make it submit to my will, basically. It sucks because like it has a cache, and it's like I don't want you to cache anything, because after PCG generates, like I want the control, right? Stop generating all this garbage that you have to collect. Like, you can see it up here. My game, it's using 28 gigs of fucking memory right now. 28 gigs of memory. And like, you see all this terrain over here? All this terrain. What is this? What is that? What are those? So yeah, I need PCG to stop that. And I will be needing to work on that. That looks good enough for combat. So the ones that are close that are actors, so most of the things you're in combat with, if they're close enough, will be actors. And that's part of the bottleneck for combat. But I do need to handle some and this is going to be an absolute pain, but I am going to need to handle per bone blending for vertex animated textures. Because right now I can only blend between animations for the entire body. I can't do like an upper body and a lower body animation. It's theoretically possible. I just need to figure out the material for it. But that's going to be an absolute fucking pain to do. Could you increase the distance in which they switch from vertex to actor? Yep, I have control over all that. Yeah. If the distance was further away, it'd be even more subtle. Especially a higher chance of LOS at further ranges. Yeah, I mean, I have control over all that, so. I will probably end up doing it on some sort of significance manager. Some like, I'll need something to determine like how fast the current frame rate is, and then like that determines how far. There also will be like a definite max of how many you can have, how many actors you can have on screen, and then at that point it's like, okay, the closest X actors, or the closest X entities are actors, right? Moving to Nani, PCG, etc. Our project uses so much RAM, and project disk size is comical. 40 gig RAM usage is a good day. Holy shit. What is it, what's the difference between running an editor versus like a packaged build, a shipping build for your project? I'm interested. I'm very interested because I did a lot of RAM testing, a lot of testing. And partially why I actually like, I have this LRU cache. But actually, like, you'll see the foliage here. Like, that's where most of the memory is taken up, is this foliage. The PCG points for the foliage. But it's not shown here. The trees are. They affect navigation and have collision, so I keep those around. But the foliage, I cache to disk. And I read back from disk when they load back in. so I don't have to run the PCG graph again and create a bunch of extra garbage, you know. But I had to do a lot of testing, and I will likely need to do further optimizations. Yeah, I'm curious what difference you see in Play in Editor, because right now, yeah, 30 gigs of memory in Editor right now. But the editor, you know, the editor just like saves whatever the hell it wants to, you know. And yeah, I saw a pretty substantial difference in shipping versus editor, but at 40 gigs, I don't know how substantial that would be. I assume your game is not going to have a 64 gigs minimum RAM spec. Package is much more in line with industry standard. I think we're at like 14 to 20 gig usage in an unoptimized state at epic settings. Damn. And so what are you guys shooting for? Like if you're gonna, like, you know, once optimization has been done, because that seems like a lot. That seems like a lot. That seems very high. And like I'm coming to terms with the fact that I will probably have 16 gig minimum RAM spec. Just make sure it's less than 64 gigs so I can play. Well, if it's any more than that, then I won't be able to develop it. So, how much RAM do like how much RAM does a PS5 have? PS5 have 16. Okay, so the latest gen consoles have 16. I feel like that's fair to say a 16 minimum. Love your gaming project. I have to go now, but I subscribe and will definitely check back in soon. Well, thanks for the sub and thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good day. We're currently in optimization and shipping phase. I'd like to see it down to 8 to 10. Dude, that's how the hell do you go from 14 to 20 down to 8 to 10? 16 on the higher end. 16 for higher end is our goal. For that reason, consoles. Okay. Okay, I'm glad I'm glad I have a similar mindset then. But it's like, dude, I looked at like the RAM usage of something like the specs for like something like No Man's Sky, which is of course like a entirely procedural generated game, and theirs is so low. I'm like so fucking jealous, you know. And I know it's because they're doing their procedural generation in a lot smarter way than I am. I understand how they're doing it. I'm doing it backwards from that to kind of experiment a little bit, but it's going to mean I have increased RAM usage, especially if I wasn't trying to keep the whole world online. I wouldn't have an issue, right? I wouldn't have an issue with RAM at all. But I'm likely going to have some sort of entity system invokers. I've already kind of spec'd it out. I have terrain. I'm going to have to make some of the entities terrain generation invokers as well. So that I can actually... I'm not going to be able to keep every single terrain chunk in memory. I am not going to be able to. So I'm going to need to kind of have some invokers, and so it's like, is the entire world going to be online? As much as possible, which is, you know, we'll see what that is. But it'll likely be, I'll likely have to make a decision on which entities need to be running. Because like right now, all the entities are running. So like, you know, that guy who's just wandering around, like there's more guys that we can't see who are they just wander around and they do nothing. They're just there to kill, right? I don't need those ones online. I don't need those ones running, right? Like we can LOD those out. Same with any terrain chunks that nothing is happening on, you know? We have to somehow shove our game into an XSS. I have no idea what that means. Their streaming is really good nanite with aggressive LODing, can go a long way with RAM usage for lower spec, which is why if you're going nanite, you have to go all in. They're saying nanite is too RAM heavy for low spec. Xbox Series S, I see, okay. What is Xbox Series X? RAM. Still 16. Do you get all of that RAM, or is there some system impact there as well? You know, like, is there like a certain... I imagine there's probably like a couple gigs of just like the Xbox system running on it, the operating system. So you don't get a full 16. It's the GPU and CPU that's the downside. And no, you don't get all the RAM. You get like 13. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I you know, maybe someday I'll go for console. Definitely not against it. I just I'm not gonna fucking kid myself that I have the capacity for that at the moment. There meaning no man's. AI game thread optimization is a whole endeavor. What is this? It's a game I'm working on. I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. So here's my procedural terrain world, and we're just kind of yapping about it, just talking a little bit. I mean, No Man's Sky has their own engine though, so they don't use Nanite, right? Unless you're saying they have their own virtualized geometry system. Xbox forces you to ship on it. That's funny. What are you guys doing? I'm gonna assume you're not doing Game Pass. But does your studio have a take on okay, our pathfinding finally failed. It finally failed. Lasted quite a while with 2,500 entities too. Not bad. Hang on, stop. But yeah, does your studio have a take on whether Game Pass is good for you as a studio and the industry overall? Game Pass is where developers go to die. Yeah, it seems like how something like Spotify affected the music industry. And it's kind of the trade-off between accessibility and quality, right? You know, if there's a higher barrier to entry, only higher quality things can make it through that barrier. If you increase accessibility, yes, that means more people can do the thing, whether it's music or whether it's gaming, you know. So, and this is like kind of like a mobile store, right? Like there's a very low barrier to entry, but there's a lot of slop in the mobile marketplace. AI and not AI. And the music, the streaming music really, it seems like it negatively impacted the music industry and artists in general. But I'm no expert on that, just from kind of vague things I've seen on the internet throughout the years. But yeah, I don't know what like the financials of like how much money do you get from someone playing your game on Game Pass. I don't know what the deal is, but it's like Game Pass is what? How much is Game Pass? Like $5 or something? It's like $10 a month. Oh, and you can there's a 15. Oh, there's different tiers. Join now. Dare I click? Okay, it's anywhere from $12.99 to $20 a month. Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you get more money the more people play your game? You know, what's? Yeah, I don't know. We're going away from owning things. We are going away from owning things. Okay, so now I need to figure out why I'm not getting the leaf tag stuff here. So let me check. Okay, for tag. For tag weapon. Leaf tag children. That makes sense. Okay, so for weapon, this is null. This is null. This needs to not be null. Yeah, okay, so this is what I was looking at before. If you like falling on the sword for a megacorp for a few pennies, Game Pass is great. We'll probably end up on it at some point, but it's not a core financial move for us. Okay. Maybe a down the road thing then. Actually, streaming services were huge for musicians. Beforehand, record labels handled them almost exclusively. You could never go against record labels due to station deals and promotions. It was a lot worse. Yeah, that's the accessibility part that I was talking about. Like, there were more barriers to entry. But that doesn't mean that it, like, yeah, it's more accessible, but also it sounds like artists are getting paid less from streaming, though. Like, everything I've seen is that artists don't make very much money from things like Spotify. Similarly to how games were back when you had ROMs and disc and proprietary machinery. Yeah, I think engines, it's games and music. They're, you know, it's both require skill to do, but it's just so much more likely to make music on your own than it. I mean, I guess it really depends on the scope of the game. I shouldn't say that. You get a singular payout to publish your game on Game Pass depending on whatever you negotiate. Then you get paid pennies per download. So like you get cents per download. And then they take a cut on monetization like Steam. Your game doesn't have MTX, it really only makes sense to Game Pass as supplementary market or Hail Mary as sales die off. Yeah. It could be nice for like older titles too, like, you know, for like if you're making a sequel, put your old game on Game Pass to kind of like get more people playing it to be interested in your new one. That feels like it could be a good move. Money-wise, yeah, that's tricky. You can't really compare streaming revenue to record sales because musicians never got money from records anyway. I need a source on that one. So it's like, what is really the measurement of a musician being fairly paid? I bet similarly to game development across varying platforms. One could argue that a new game will increase the sales of an old one too. Potentially. I feel like that's a lot less likely than... because if people don't know about game 1, they're going to be a lot less likely to buy game 2. Although that does happen quite a bit, you know. It does happen quite a bit where no one played the first. I didn't play Witcher 1 or 2, but I played Witcher 3, right? It does happen. But like, if you released Witcher 1 and 2 on a more accessible platform, and people knew like the new one was coming out, they're like, oh, I'll play the old ones. Maybe, you know, I'll be interested or something, you know. Mortal Shell 1 is on Game Pass. Nice. Anyways, let's figure out why this tag doesn't work. It is literally in here. Weapon.pickaxe is in here. So why aren't you being returned? Why aren't you being returned? So let's go to child tags. You are an item hierarchy child. Your hash and equality operator are seemingly correct. I mean, it works for the other tags. It works for the parent tag. It's not working for this tag. I think I need to pass the tag in here. Or can I just get type hash here? I can. Oh. I think I need maybe that. I don't know if that helps or not. Let's also, I'm going to do some additional logging here. Let's do a quick for each over the children. And we're just going to do a little bit of logging here. Okay, 0 equal to 1. Child tag. I probably need to do child tag dot tag toString, yeah. And then item tag toString, yeah. So copy that. Okay, let's rebuild here then. If I marketed well to generate a lot of hype and the first title goes on sale at the same time, you'll inevitably see a large spike in new consumer sales, common marketing tactic in games. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. I bet that the idea itself is volatile too. It depends on the game, company, etc. Surely it won't work for every. Yeah. Everything's different. Hydrongi is a better man than Pirate Software. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thank you. Yeah, I hope I don't come off as that arrogant. I worry that I do sometimes. Are we building here? Okay. Let's get this figured out before I go to work, please. Please and thank you, Tim Sweeney. The first-gen drawing entertainment employee, yes. So I am the first Nepo baby at Blizzard. I mean, I don't like the whole criticism of him bragging about working at Blizzard. Like, I don't see that as like criticism. It's just funny. That one video where he's like, I literally never mentioned I've worked at Blizzard, and it's like a whole like 5 minutes of him saying that. Like that's fair criticism, but like I don't care that he mentions he worked at Blizzard. Like that he's doing game development, it's relevant. You know, did he embellish what he did at Blizzard? I don't know. Like we won't really know. You know, we won't really know. Window. Okay. I should probably have put a better log in there. It does say it's equal. It does say it's equal. Item tag, pickaxe, correct? Weapon. Okay, so we gotta like next. Still okay. Weapon dot pickaxe. So yeah, it is equal to one of the child tags, but it did not. Oh, now it. Wait, what? Now it found it. Huh? Am I going crazy here? Oh, I changed the type hash. Right. So that did work. That did work. Yay, okay, it did work. Why isn't it showing up though? Click, okay. Where's your children? Show me your children. Why are you hiding your children from me? I'm looking for a pickaxe. Dude, so much happens when you click that button, Jesus Christ. Numb Children 1. Construct thing with tag weapon pickaxe dot pickaxe pickaxe depth 2. Weapon dot pickaxe dot pickaxe. That looked correct. Why are you not showing me your children, pickaxe? I need to see your children. Heavy breathing. Show me your children. Build children for tag, weapon dagger, depth 1, children, weapon pickaxe. It's not so much that he says he worked at Blizzard IMO, it's how he says it. Yeah, he does come off very arrogant. Yeah, I get it. Now, I'm not a blueprint lover now. Don't put that evil on me. I think there's value to working at game coding, QA. I bet there's value in that, but leveraging that to trump any discussion or use it as a token of authenticity or authority in a discussion is like I think it's fair to use it as some level of authority. I think that's fair. Yeah, definitely not. It shouldn't be a trump card by any means, but like, you know, yeah, I've worked at Blizzard. I know how the game industry is, you know, XYZ. I feel like that's fair. It's the internet, and he played the internet game, Jin or not. Yeah, he's not doing himself any favors, that's for sure. I do think he's getting like an unfair amount of criticism, but yeah, he's not exactly doing himself any favors, so. He made a fucking bag. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's still, what is he at? Like, he's still at like 4,000 viewers, right? I follow him just because I'm curious, right? I pop in every once in a while to see what he's doing. Even just signed a sponsorship with a weird and poorly reviewed natural shroom company. Interesting. He did, I have seen him say he grows mushrooms, his own mushrooms. Which is exactly the kind of thing that 3 ferrets in a trench coat would do. Which is my theory, that he is actually 3 ferrets in a trench coat. And he doesn't understand the social aspects of humanity very well. He's got a very ferret-driven agenda. It's very suspect. He might be amassing a ferret army. And he might be more than 3 ferrets in a trench coat, but at least 3 is what I can say. If he really is ferrets, he's actually doing pretty good in hindsight. Yeah, he got a job at Blizzard being a trench coat full of ferrets. That's pretty crazy. Oh boy, this tree. We're not gonna figure out the. God damn, there's just so much that fucking. Okay. What do I need to log? Let's take a look at our logs here. Let's take a look at our logs here. So I don't think we need to be doing set label on construct anymore. I don't think I care about logging that either anymore. I think we're good there. I think we're good there. Yeah, I don't think we need to set label there or depth. Let's see if this works. Let's see if that still works. Does it still work? Yeah, that seems to still work. Beautiful. Okay, let's continue stripping things out of here till it makes sense. Build children, blah, 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 blah. I don't need to log this twice, I don't think. Yeah, so there's a lot being logged here. Numb children. I do like that one. That one is nice. Let's get rid of that one. This one, this is on list item object set, which would not have access to its children. Do I care about logging this at this point? Construct thing with tag. Construct with tag. Okay, let's look at the logs here, I guess. And we can, I suppose we can get rid of these now that I fixed the hash. So we don't need those logs, I don't think. Fucking gnats, man, I missed it. Oh, gnats. Okay. Okay. Weapon pickaxe depth 1. Do I see like the dot? Yes, I do actually. Hang on. Okay, let me look. Let me look at this. Weapon dot one-handed axe. Pickaxe dot, construct thing with tag. Pickaxe dot pickaxe. Depth 2. So we do build children for tag, and we construct the child. Build children for tag weapon pickaxe, depth 1, num children 1. Construct with tag weapon dot pickaxe dot pickaxe. So it is getting constructed. Why aren't you showing like the other ones do? Depth 2. Is it because it doesn't have any children? Is that why? Although, when I had no children, it was still showing for the other things. I clicked on pickaxe. There should be a weapon.pickaxe.pickaxe. I just named the pickaxe pickaxe, okay? Okay, guys? This is a fucking mess. Construct with tag. Do I see that? I do. Construct with tag depth 2. I do construct it. I do. I don't think I never get here for the pickaxe. Yeah, none of those ones work. Yet I am constructing it. Okay, so this feels like... do I need to do anything here? It's working so far for the other hierarchies. Let me go back to that, where was that forum post? Here we go. What other functions did you use? You have these sets. Yes. What is this one? This is just set up as child. Which just gets called at the end there. Using the depth value. Yeah, I think the only two functions he uses, get item children. Yeah, the only function he uses is like the get item children, and then the initialize, or like the set object or whatever. No children. Okay, I'm curious, like, what happens when we just intentionally pass no children? Does it break? Does it not show anything if... I'm wondering if it doesn't show anything if they don't have children. I hope the answer is... but that's not the case. Yeah, it still shows these. Okay. And let's actually, num children, let's do length on the return value of this. So we can get like the actual like built children here. Pickaxe. Okay. What happened here? What do we have here? Weapon.pickaxe num children is 1. So we do build it. Like we do build the children. Why are you not displaying that for me? Can this only do a depth of 1? No way, right? It's a tree view. It should have an infinite... Can it only do a depth of 1? I guess maybe I should expand, or not expand, implement like some on item expanded or whatever. See if like we actually get them to be expanded. Gameplay tag. Expanded. None expanded true. Beautiful. None expanded true. I guess I need to like wire up all the variables here. Or at least that one. Weapon expanded, true. Pickaxe expanded, true. So it does try to expand the pickaxe. On entry initialized. I would very much like you to just work, please. I set list. Do I need to do something with setting list items? Do I need to set more list items? Build children, and I do the storage settings, get item children, build children for tag, weapon.pickaxe.pickaxe. Build wait, do I? Let me click that again. Weapon.pickaxe expanded, true. Build children for tag, weapon.pickaxe. Okay, I guess I'm not building children. I am not building children for weapon.pickaxe.pickaxe, and I should be, I think. And I should be. Why is it not calling? Okay, let's do this. Append, of course. We're going to say get item children for and I guess I need to fucking do this. I mean, I guess I'll just pass the name here. Maybe let's do this. Print string. What if I can breakpoint there? Hello. I'll just say error. Error. So weapon.pickaxe expanded is set to true, but it doesn't call God, there's 78 widgets. Oh, Jesus. Dare I look at this? Oh my God. I hope it garbage collects those properly. Yeah, I mean, it should work, I think. I feel like it should. Yeah, so we're not, this one is not getting called for these sub objects. Is there's not like a maximum depth or something that I can do, is there? Horizontal entry spacing. I might want that. Non-desired preview entries. Yeah, there's not like a depth or anything that I can see. On entry generate, on entries generated. There's so many of these functions, but none of them sound like they'll help me here. Yeah, and I gotta get going. Unfortunately, I was really hoping to get this ironed out today. I was really hoping I could get this ironed out today. And I guess we do end up calling that. I see like the depth. This is tag. We do the tag name. No, I guess we never get there. Okay, yeah, I gotta get going. I unfortunately have to get going. Okay, let me find someone to send you guys over to. Cavino again, perhaps. Who's doing Unreal Engine? Is there anyone?
Okay, ja, ich glaube, den habe ich schon getrunken. Ist, glaube ich, echt nicht schlecht.
Is this Unreal Engine? Is he playing a game? Oh, it's in French, of course. Of course. Okay, we'll send you guys over to Cavino. Once again. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. It was a good stream, solid stream. Hopefully I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Yeah, appreciate all the follows and the subs and everything. Have a great day. And that's all I have to say. Bye everyone.
Programming languages aren't meant to be normal English. Do you remember what I said? Mahjong, welcome. What are you up to? How is the game going? For those of you who don't know, Mahjong's also working on a roguelite. Also big gamer as well. We are currently working on our mastery here, trying to get it moving and grooving. And you're just in time for us to run through it and see what goes on, because we're trying to get it so our mastery level now is attached to our player class, which is a resource. And the idea here is to switch classes. You pick up a resource, or you're given a resource, and that has literally everything you need on it. And yeah, boom. Oh my lord. He's just dodging all the attacks. Battling the UE5 widget basically the whole time. Oh. I popped in a little bit earlier this morning. And I was just lurking around, and it was looking wild. I like Unreal. But it seems so complex for as a complete beginner such as myself. It just seems so complex. I'm like, nah. Okay, right.